Page 32, Irish Washerwoman. Top of the page, they talk about repeated notes. Well, we've had repeated notes all along. What's the big deal? Well, here they're saying twice in succession. That's a repeated note. It could be more than just twice. You could repeat a note indefinitely. In this piece, we're just talking two of them. We get them all over the place. And we'll talk about the actual piece. So I'll talk about repeated notes when I get to them in the piece. This is in 6/8 time. 1 sharp. We're still in the key of G major. Make sure you can do the G major scale. Right hand first. We have 2 beats of pickup. Remember, an 8th note gets a count. So we're coming in on beat 5. 5, 6, 1. Here. And it's, watch the fingering carefully. I have some suggestions on this here. 2. Right now I'm going to connect everything. All right, just connect. So here, and then they say a 3, 1. Then a 4. You're going to reach down. And then reach up 3. Then they say 4. No. You can do that because of the articulation lets you get away with it. But one of the reasons I try and finger things legato at first when I'm working out of fingering is because it avoids some bad fingering habits. And this business of here is not a real good fingering idea. I want it to be legato. Well, how do you do that? Well, I can go here and then 2. Right? And now I'm in position. I don't have to do that. I find that rather awkward. Keep in mind, this is a really fast piece, and I would prefer not to do any fingering like that after. And while I'm on the subject, I just will talk about these repeated notes. At the beginning again, you got 2 of these. Well, most of the time, not always, most of the time I will use 2 different fingers on repeated notes. It is safer, especially when you get nervous. And if you get going fast, you don't tire as easily. If I have to play repeated notes quickly with 1 finger, I tense up and I get tired real quick. But if I can use alternate fingers or different fingers on them, I can last longer. I go 4. I mean, it's like playing different notes, except you're just all in one key. I don't get nearly as tired. So I would recommend it, if possible, check the possibility of using different fingers. And on this one, at the beginning, I don't see anything wrong with 2, 3. 2, 3, and 3, 2. See, and that way when I get to the second line, second measure, I'm already used to that, except I just played with thumb instead of 2. And the third line, second measure, 1, 3, 2. It's much easier because, as I said, this is a fast piece. So I'd recommend you adjust this fingering and use these different fingers on these repeated notes if you can. Now going on, the last measure, this is dangerous, especially if you get nervous. So I suggest you do a 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. I'm doing 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. It works out very well. And then 3. You can do a 2 or a 3. Here the black key gets in the way. We can't do the 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1 here because the black key would end up having to put a thumb on a black key. So here we adjust it. 2, 1, 3, 2. We're still doing a 3, 2, 1, it's just a slightly different. The second finger's on the main beat rather than the thumb. So again, top of page 33, it's here. It's a second measure, 2, 1, 3, 2. second line, I don't recommend that. If you're going to do it, make sure you use a wrist action here. But if you can, 4/5. If that's, and it is awkward at first to learn to do this. That's not an easy move. You need to learn to do it though, so I would encourage you to try it out. So it's 2, 4, and the last one, thumb on the last thumb, and this way you're ready to go on. Because they want you to use fourth finger twice. They want you to use fourth. No, don't do that, please. Not thumb, and then 4. And again, third line, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, and then you do it again. It's so much easier when you can learn to use different fingers on these repeated notes eventually. It's hard at first. Don't go that fast. Go slower. But keep working at it because it's kind of important that you grasp this idea of doing that. I will also mention that not all teachers teach this. A lot of teachers think, oh, just play the same finger again. But I don't. I like to use different fingers. I found many cases where it has helped me out a great deal. Harder to learn at first, but it pays off in the long run. Left hand. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Not too bad. With all this mess going on in the right hand, it's nice to have something stable in the left hand. So that's basically all you're doing in the left hand. You get to page 33, you're up here. It's a D and a C. Put the hands together slowly. Just. And again, I'm going to connect everything as best I can. It has to be steady. You don't have to go that fast, but those eighth notes got to be steady. This is actually, people dance to this. Then we can add the articulation. That's just going to make it funner. You know what it is. Short staccatos. You can use finger staccato here because I find when it goes really fast, the smaller muscles work better rather than wrist, because wrist is, yeah. So if you can use finger muscles, that's fine. And the left hand is whatever, it's just short. It's that 2-note slurs, down, up. So it's staccato here, but slurred here. First measure, top page 33. There, it's all connected with that last note. And at the end of the line, lift up before you go on. It's supposed to go fast. Dynamic wise, it's for the right hand. Keep the left hand in the background. It's a fairly happy, it's a party type piece. Loud, whatever you think loud is. It doesn't really have to be loud. It's in the loud range. And keeping in mind, as fast as it is, playing loud is hard when you're going really fast. They don't work together. So it doesn't really have to be really loud. Just sort of loud is fine. The left hand, keep it, yeah. And then speed-wise, the metronome marking, the dotted quarter note, that's their opinion. You're going to feel this in 2, a dotted quarter. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's just a suggestion. It has to be accurate. slow and you gradually speed it up. So forth. You have to make it yours. It has to be accurate, so don't go too fast there. But you do want to feel it in 2. 1, 2. Eventually. I like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any there aren't any dynamics to speak of, but let's just try the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts because we come in on beat 5. 1, 2, ready, go.